So welcome to the Tuesday Night Heffron Park podcast. And you may notice we've got Nicole O. A big hello, Nicole.
Hi,
Hello,
Nicole.
Crafty.
Yeah, so
Hello, everyone.
we're going to get a bit of the B grade perspective and also thoughts on, well, you are the 2022 Women's Series winner and the C grade winner. So we'll get some different perspectives. We haven't had a podcast, guys, for 2 weeks. So I'll very quickly wrap up round three. It was a bread and butter round three with A grade getting up with 2 laps to go. I think you'll find Ollie Penny led out into the headwind and Jack Bennett came late. Boom, takes the win. We didn't do a rider of the week, but I said to you, John, the rider of the week was the Storm. Boy, did that hit. Alexis, did you get wet?
Smashed.
Yeah,
I'd give that rider of the week as well, because that ensured I didn't get home in comfort.
Yeah, John, what about yourself?
Well, I was lucky. I was in the car and I made it out of the car to the pub at Fox Studios just as the heavens opened up.
And Nicole?
Well, luckily I got dropped from B grade, so I had a little early finish and straight into the car and home. So not a drop.
Okay, well, I was packing up the equipment when it vomited down. It just absolutely came down. Got it in the car wet, and then it was impossible to drive because it hit Heffron so hard. So, rider of the week, the Storm, and the fact that we escaped it. Let's jump forward, John, now to round 4. And what a round 4. You rocked up, and the wind, it was coming in a nor'easter, yeah?
Yeah, but it wasn't too strong, was it? And the other weather factor on Tuesday night was very warm and muggy. So the wind wasn't a big factor. It was still pretty windy if you were racing, I imagine. But it was a fairly smooth, fast night. And I think we had 90 starters and something like just under 70 finishes. So that's a big percentage of finishes.
And
I think it was 30 of 37 in B grade finished.
Okay. And Nicole, you've decided when it's windy, you don't race. What's going on? You struggle in B grade with the wind.
Yes, that would be a yes. Any type of westerly, anything over, say, 40k an hour, and I just cannot keep up with the big boys. There's a lot of big boys in B grade who put down a lot of power, and if I have nowhere to hide, I am stuffed.
Without giving away the race itself, how did you go on Tuesday in B grade?
Tuesday, I felt really comfortable this week. I was a little bit less slack with my positioning. I think that's what happened the week before. And I basically hid behind Adam McCoy because he's pretty big. And I just followed him around. So I felt pretty good.
Yeah, there's a big difference in being on a steady wheel and a big wheel. It makes a massive difference, especially if they come out of the corners smoothly like a big guy does.
Yeah, he's a big steady wheel. And I generally lose it when some of the big boys kick out of the hairpin and they just, put a couple of bike legs and I just can't make it back. So yeah, it's a bit of learning how to ride B grade and how to survive. But
What
was the fastest? What
was
the fastest part of the course on Tuesday, Nicole?
The
fastest part was maybe actually as you come off the straight, like the first tailwind bit before the left into the squircle. That was pretty much tailwind, pretty because you're coming fast because it was kind of tail cross off the straight and then onto that right-hand corner. So that was probably the fastest part this week.
And Nicole, how much of a step up do you find it from C to B?
Oh, massive. Massive. Especially when it's windy. So yeah, when it's windy, it's like you just get, there's no respite basically. So yeah, there's no recovery, there's no respite. You kind of have to flog the corners because every time you have to make up a bike length, it's just hard. So yeah, like it's been a challenge. I'm probably not as fit as I should be, but that's all right. But yeah, it's a big step up, but it's also good because I find when A catch us, I don't freak out anymore. I used to freak out a little bit, but but now it's like, oh yeah, I've been almost riding this fast for the whole race kind of thing. So yeah, it's good. But I think like you're cornering, like you have to really go around those corners hard, pedal out of the corners as quickly as you can, get on the pedals. It's just all those little things that you have to do if you don't have the horsepower. Like obviously I don't, I'm a little person as well.
And you're not feeling the pressure as defending champion to kind of, you're worrying about the point score and thinking, well, or you're just happy to hand the title on.
I have nil points at the moment. So, yeah, I'm not worried about that at all.
5 weeks to go, Nicole. Still a chance.
I know. I can make a late comeback. And I missed a couple, but like, no, not even worried. So it's fine.
Stuff the points. Are you having fun in B grade?
Oh yeah, it's good. Like I think it's good for me. And then I like go race Saturday, and I think it's a piece of piss basically because it's not Tuesday. So overall, I think it's really good just for my crit skills and stuff like that. And yeah, I prefer like I want like I'll see it out. I started it. I insisted I did it, so I'm going to see out the season pretty much.
Well, congratulations, Nicole, on giving it a solid go, and well done.
And hanging in there too.
Yeah. Okay. Look, we're going to jump back now to Tuesday just gone past, and as we said, it was an interesting night. The wind wasn't so strong, and 90 riders. There was a fair bit of anticipation of what was going to happen. Now, John, this year you have managed to listen to my commentary throughout the season because you haven't been racing. Alexis, you get to hear the last 5 laps most times.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
7.
But look, on what you guys don't know is that about 12 or 11 laps to go, I take the times of the bunch and I try and dictate or predict what's going to happen and how it's going to unfold. And a very interesting thing happened on Tuesday, and I'm going to lead into it, but I'm going to do a screen share just to prove, my mantra, 10 seconds per lap per grade. John, you hear it all the time, don't you?
Certainly do.
Yeah. So I made a little graphic. I spared no expense. I went to the illustration department. I'm going to go with a share. So, guys, here's what I've done. I've got the Word document. B grade start. Everybody gets that. They go at first. C grade start about 30 seconds after B grade. So B grade needs to make up 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Is everybody following that at the moment?
Yeah, all over it.
Yeah. So B grade ride at about 250. 30 seconds later, we've got a 250. But they only have to make it up over 14 laps. And guess what? 2 minutes and 20. That is 140 seconds, 10 seconds per lap. So I'm not pulling this stuff out of my ass. All right.
So, Crafty, I would say you're a master of this stuff.
Yeah. So A grade, generally speaking, start 2 minutes and 30 seconds after B grade leave. Yeah. All right. So A grade needs to make up 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But guess what? It's over 15 laps because C grade only do 14. Yeah. And guess where that works out? A big smiley face, 10 bloody seconds per lap. And that's where
this has more logic than John going from rounds 3 to 4.
Yeah, I know.
The old chestnut.
There's my chestnut. Look at this. 10 seconds per lap per grade. Now, it's give or take, because if Colin holds it back a little bit and say it works out about 9.6 seconds a lap up to about 10, but it really is so easy math, 10 seconds. On lap 11, and you may have already seen it, check this out. And John, you were standing with me. I took the time.
Yes, it certainly was.
It was 11 to go, and here it is. A grade road, we're riding a 241. B grade, we're riding a 251. And C grade, we're riding a 301. This is like 3 low pressure, super low pressure systems all colliding. It was poised to come together in the last few 100 meters. It was
kind of did.
And oh my God, it nearly did, but it didn't. It didn't. And there's a few reasons why it didn't, guys. And I'm going to
ask Dave Evans. He's got one good reason.
Yeah, he loves every A grader. A graders at about 8 to go just start putting it in the gutter. I know the wind wasn't strong, but they were straight lining it and they just kept on straight lining it. Had they not done that, they would have collected B grade and won the race and got through C grade. The second thing was C grade, Alexis. They started riding instead of 3:01s. You guys were riding 3 minutes. You were getting faster towards the end.
So was it fast, Alexi?
It was actually, and it was one of the few times. It was the unicorn race where everyone actually was going through. I think even your mate Gino was up there doing it.
Well, Gino reckons he did 2 turns a lap. That's what he told me at the pub.
Right, sounds about right. And I think by the end of the night it was 3, but it was it was miraculous and we kept going all the way to that final lap. And so it was almost the rider of the night was everyone in C grade who rolled turns throughout the entire race.
Oh, you've ruined the surprise, have you? Oh, bloody hell. Come on. Maybe. So we've worked out A grade. A grade just stabbed themselves in the foot by putting it in the gutter consistently. C grade got excited. They started to believe they could win. Alexis? That's
right. I think there was a lot of talk. People were yelling out, we can win this. We can win this. Keep going. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. We can win. We can win. And it was bizarre because with 5 laps to go, all of a sudden we saw B grade. And so that is where we thought, we're going to struggle here. But I won't ruin the story. I'll let those in B and others tell us what happened next.
Yeah, because then we got to go to Nicole. So what the happened in B grade? I've got a real theory here, and I'm gonna call out a rider. Maybe
I can tell you what I think happened, but remember I can't see much at all.
You can see somebody's ass.
I can see the ass of Adam McCoy, and I can kind of get an idea what's happening, but everyone's going well until I think about 4 or 5 to go, and then suddenly it just eased off. The reason I know this is because I felt pretty comfortable, and then they stopped rolling turns, and then the next thing I know, I saw 3 people go off the front of B grade, 2 Centennial boys, and was it Henry? I'm not sure. And it just broke down, stopped working. That's what I felt. Remember, I can't see.
I understand. Okay, do you ready for my theory in B grade?
What's your theory, Crafty?
It's going to upset somebody, but have I ever been worried about that? I keep on seeing a rider in about 7th or 8th wheel in B grade, but I never see that rider at the front of the bunch.
Ben Glastonbury.
No, Ben's. I think Ben's got it right, but I did see that rider again at the front of B grade at the finishing line. Right. And I kind of get the feeling that that rider is just intent on winning the B grade sprint and not.
Absolutely.
I also looked at it as I felt that B grade made that mistake of going, we've now got C grade in our sights with 5 to go. Let's play a few games. And then all of a sudden there was that attack with about 3 laps to go out of B, and they didn't make the junction to C grade. And all of a sudden the impetus was gone. And it's almost like if you're going to attack from B, you've got to do it almost either you've got to get there and go straight through, or you just have to wait that extra lap until the catch is actually made. Because they were thinking about victory and not actually, we still have to get through and catch C grade.
Yeah, you can't win it without catching. I'm going to go back to said rider. The problem with being 6th or 7th wheel and saving it all for the sprint is you're in the sweet spot, right? You're in the sweet spot. It's great for you, but you're stopping the forward movement of the train in that spot. He'd be better off just sitting at the back. Yeah.
With Dave.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Well, look, I mean, we won't name him, but I mean, in C grade, you almost have Jack Renshaw plays the role of Rolando and is happy to sit there. And then, unfortunately for Jack, though, he went way too early. He thought
he was unreal. He let it out.
He went, I'm going with 600 to go. Okay. Never got that gap. And
let's go. Let's go.
Finally comes to the front.
what happened in this perfect storm that was brewing, and those three low pressure systems, they actually never met. They all just stopped around about, but all three grades were in the front straight at the same time. And John, your across the line video was like, here's the sprint for the win, C grade. Then straight away, Rolando.
Bang.
And I'm great mates. I'm pretty good mates with Rolando, and he's prolific at winning, and he's a bloody good rider. I may have given him a tip, and I think a few people in B grade might back me up. I don't know. Rolando wins, and then we turn our head, and then we look at Michael Cupid getting caught, and boom, come A grade. It was pretty cool.
It was close enough that on the last lap, C was still at the front, and we got to the back half of the course, and everyone actually started to ease up and go like, oh, well, I don't want to lead it out. And I remember actually, I was sitting there watching, and I looked behind, I thought, B grade are just going to come over the hill. And all of a sudden, they're just going to catch us. And all of a sudden, we're going to win this race. This is amazing. First time since March 21. Oh, no, we're not.
Are you taking John preluded this at the start before we started recording. John, talk us through the finish, mate, and talk us who won and who got in the top three.
Well, like you said, Jack Renshaw hit the straight early, and you called it, Crafty. He was on the looking down the straight on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. But then the two of the big C grade hitters, Thomas Picherit and our new man, Ashley Bennett-Freeman. I tell you what, that sprint finish that Ash got Thomas on, that was a Pro Tour sprint. Have you seen the throw?
Calm down. Calm down.
That's the best looking throw that we've seen at Heffron this season. So it was a great finish. But the real C grader, I thought, was Ben Dewhurst. And young Ben, he's been banging away in C grade, doing really well. And that was a good finish for him. And without the other two sort of hitters there, I sort of thought that was a night for him. Rodrigo Natero, always there at the finish in the sprint. And, of course, Jack Renshaw held on for fifth.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have won without Ashley Bennett-Freeman being there.
Is that right?
Because not only did he win the race, he did an absolute mountain of work.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to get to Ashley in a second. I just want to find out were you involved in the sprint, Nicole, in B grade?
Kind of a little bit, as much as I can be.
Okay.
Not really.
You went faster in the last lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still, sight.
And then A grade come through, and A grade with Tom Bolton. I thought Tom was almost there, but Kurt Eiffel was just faster. He was
too quick, isn't he?
He was like visibly faster, came late, and nailed it. And each of the grades pretty much caught the tail, the drop riders after the finishing line of each, not the drop riders, the tail end of the sprint. Now let's go to Ashley. On the start line, I picked him out, right? The C grade about to roll out, and I looked at him, and he just looked bloody out of place in C grade. He had muscle definition. His jersey was tight, and I've just looked at him and gone, I don't know who you are, but you look freaking fit, mate. You look fit. And as I walked, I didn't know what to say, and I saw the stars on his, and I said, what's your go, Captain America? And he's going, I'm ready to go. And off he goes. And as he went, the bike groaned with the muscles that he had. He looked pretty bloody good. You saw him firsthand, Alexis.
Absolutely. I thought it looked more like Elia Viviani there in the Italian jersey.
Yeah, he had the Italian stripes on.
There's a great photo of Ashley in the race report that Simon Francis took, and sort of emphasizes what you just said, Crafty.
Okay, so after the race, I spoke to him and went, "Who the hell are you, buddy?" And he told me he landed in
Coffs Harbour.
From Coffs Harbour, from England. He said,
"Is he English?"
Yeah.
He's English. Okay.
With a name like Bennett-Freeman.
We have hyphenated names here, don't we?
Yeah, I think
not to that extent. Not that if you're living on a country estate like he must have come from.
Oh, he stuffs up your spreadsheet for your points, by the way.
Oh, didn't he? What?
Didn't he? We'll get to that in a second. So, hey, I spoke to him afterwards and he said he turned up to a Tuesday and got his ass handed to him. And it was just like the Rocky Balboa movies. You know, he went away, thought deep and hard, got logs of wood, carried them up hills, like with a montage of music going, and built some muscles and came back on a Tuesday night to deliver revenge for killing Apollo. Please tell me you've seen
You
Rocky
reckon my
V.
stories are long?
I don't know where to go from that.
It was cool. So where do we go? How did the women go, Nicole?
From what I know, Hayley. So I spoke to Kira after the race, and she said she was pretty cooked. She's been doing a lot of track, and she said she did a lot of work early on, which I believe because she always does. And so I think she kind of sat up. Hayley Fuller's an excellent rider. I raced her I've raced a few times with her, but she always just seems to be able to be in the right position. She does a lot of track. So yeah, not surprised that she won. But I have inside knowledge that the two of them will not be around from next week because they are
There's
racing.
a chance, Nicole.
Max. Oh yes, I've just got to, survive B grade, not get caught by day too early, catch C and make my way through the whole bunch and pick up those points. No problem.
You've got it wrapped up.
But yeah, so Kira and Hayley will be racing this week and then no more. So how many more rounds is there? 3?
We've got 5 to go. All of them.
Oh, have we? Oh dear. Yeah. All right.
Ooh, that'll be close.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Nice.
just to fill in how Hayley's racing Tuesday night, she hails from Dubbo. How hard it is being a cyclist and a track cyclist. She's selected for New South Wales to ride the Australian Track Championships. That training camps are constant at the Dunkgrave Velodrome. Can't do it from Dubbo. The Aoife boys live on the Central Coast. They're from Dubbo originally. She's now staying for the next from 2 weeks ago all the way to Nationals at the Aoife's house. And a massive shout out to Hayley. Her team for the NRS has folded. So she's without contract at the moment.
So it's Kira's. They're in the same team.
Okay. Now, 2 prolific winners at Heffron. And what do they say about Heffron if you can win at Heffron, John?
You can damn well win anywhere, Crafty.
Yeah. So if there are any...
That's been proven so many times.
Yeah.
That's actually... Oh, sorry, I do interrupt. So that's actually really interesting. So does that mean that the Kurt and Hayley, they're traveling down from the Central Coast to race on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to Kurt and to Dylan. They come down every Tuesday. They leave at 3:00 from the Sunny Coast. They get here about 5, and it only takes them an hour and a half to get back. They're usually back at 8:30 when most of us are still sitting at the Watson and the Fox Studios having a third beer.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's yeah. I actually, it's glad to hear the background because otherwise I see the Dubbo Club and I'm like, are they just living in Sydney? Are going to uni? Okay, there we go.
They've got a van. I saw them all piling in after the race on the weekend. Not on the weekend, on Tuesday. So I think they just come up and down in that.
They certainly do. Just goes to show what a huge draw card Tuesday night racing is.
The world comes. They come from England to win it here.
They do. They come from England and they win.
When I lived in England and I came back home for summer, the only thing I wanted to do was Tuesday Night Heffron. So that was 2018. I had to go.
Crafty,
go, John.
Unfortunately, I've got to leave because I've got a dinner date. But Rider of the Week, can I throw my
go for it
there?
Yeah.
I'm going Ashley Bennett-Freeman.
Okay, the winner. Yeah. Well, let's do Rider of the Week. Alexis, who do you think? You said all of C grade. That's not.
Yeah, that's right. That's not my ethos either. I haven't really. To be honest, I hadn't put any thought into this one. Yeah, I'll go Ashley Bennett as well. Okay. Full credit, top Rider of the Week.
Nicole, who did you think?
I haven't put any thought into this at all.
Just say Harley Fuller.
Oh yeah, I can say Haley Fuller.
She got my vote last week.
Yeah. Call
She
Gino.
won, so she must have done well. Did
Okay.
she come? Oh no, she didn't come. That was before. But yeah, I'll vote for woman. Let's do it.
That's the way to do it. I reckon that Tom Picherit.
Yeah, I should
Picherit.
play. I should actually give a shout out to him because he's actually in my team of mismatched people. He's only started racing again, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. So yeah, he's obviously not bad.
So we got first in C grade last week. Is that right, John?
Yes, he won C grade last week. He's on 5 points. Yeah.
And then second in B grade the week later. So I think but it's no doubt we've got 2 versus everybody else. So it's Ashley. Ashley, you are rider of the week. Yay. Everybody go clap. All right. John, you're
Well done, Ashley. And welcome to B grade next week.
You're going. We're going to talk about the point series. So
okay, you've got the points. Night, everybody. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming. See you next Tuesday, John.
Okay. See ya.
Okay, guys, we've got rid of John, which means now we've got no one to pay out on, but the stories get a little shorter. Let's go with a share. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, here is the current series points after round 4. Let's go to the series. No real change at the top, and I can't see anything but the Jack and Tom show for 2023.
Which I must admit blows my mind, because it feels like Kurt Ether's number 1 A grader at the moment, rolling through. And yet I look at the point score, even his own grade in A, he's coming 4th.
Yeah. So Kurt,
is he there every week?
No,
Kurt?
He's got NRS appointments all over Australia. He'll be in the Tour of Taiwan.
But even now, round 4, so he was the first A grader over the line on Tuesday night, and then the previous weeks it feels like he's also been the top rider. Yeah, clearly I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong. Okay, Tom and Jack show. So Jack will go into it with a 4-lead buffer on the series, and I think that's defendable. But with 5 weeks, John said 5 weeks left.
I don't think there's 5 weeks left.
It could be, but
doesn't it end? When does daylight saving? That's like the first.
We might.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that up there. And this is what I was talking about. If you see Ashley, he's ruined John's spreadsheet he's had to use a different font. Ashley's right up there now, but I can't see Ashley scoring any points from here on, because you've got to win the blood. Like, you've got to be at the front. Yeah. But you never know. Anything can happen. Go to B grade. And Nicole, B grade's your affair. What do you reckon in there?
It's pretty close. Yeah. Different winners each week, it appears.
Yeah. Chris Collins.
Those people, Henry Baird and Chris Collins are, I don't know, they race A grade on Saturdays. They're pretty strong.
I'm surprised Benny Glastonbury's only got 1 point. Yeah. Another rider who seems to be riding very well and obviously picks the wrong races to do well in.
He overcooked some. He was off in the grass. Yeah,
but in the previous weeks, he's done pretty well. He obviously did well in the classics. I'd actually say, though, I think Henry Baird, he'll win B grade.
Okay.
He seems to be getting better every week.
We'll keep going now with Jack Bennett. Is only 1 point ahead of Tom Bolton, and we know why. Tom took a couple of points back there, and Michael Cupid on 3 points, having won 1. We go to C grade. Alexis, your view? We've got to be a little bit mindful as we don't have the full version of Zoom. What do you reckon in C grade?
Yeah. I think that's still wide open. I don't think there's a clear winner.
No. Well, Tommy's out.
I almost don't.
Jeremy's.
It could almost be someone who isn't on that list yet.
Could be. It's unpredictable. Nicole, go to the women, and wow, as you know, Kira and Haley will be away.
Yeah. So, I don't think Rose Vassal is going to be racing much. She's cooked herself over summer. She's having a bit of a break. Bree and Nicole, I guess, depends how many times they show up and how generous the handicap is for B grade.
Well, no.
So who's your pick? You got to pick someone. Who's going to win it?
Who's going to win it? I think Kira. I think Kira's going to win this week, and she'll have a big lead.
Yeah, so if she does, she'll go to 10. And then the couple of weeks off till March 17 is the National Track Championships, and then she'll be back. Okay, so we've done Rider of the Week. A big thank you to Nicole for being here and putting your input in. And especially, it was really interesting seeing the your perspective of going from C grade to B grade and how you manage that. I think that was fun. Alexis, what do you reckon?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, look, anyone who's making that step up, it's a huge step. And so congratulations to Nicole for giving it a dig week in, week out. It's brutal. Let you give the wrap up.
Okay, well, in a week that saw the first victory, as said, for C grade since March 2021. What a surprising win it was, and what a delightful finish it was. 3 grades in the same straight. Big goodbye to Nicole. Thanks for joining us. And
Thanks
Alexis. And as I say every week, see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Heffron Park.
Tuesday.